Hello, and welcome back to another day in the arena. It's me, it's CGB. Today, in the arena, Historic Brawl with Tasha, Unholy Archmage. The pose, the pizzazz, the Witch Queen, that's something, a different name, but has the same art. How about them apples? Also, you might notice the music, the beats. My client lost sound, because that's a thing that happens now, apparently, in the arena, and I could get it back by restarting, but then I'd lose these neatly sorted piles that you're currently perusing here, so we're just going to deal with it. Now, if you have only seen Tasha in Paper Magic, it's really important to read this card, because while the art looks the same, and you might think that knowing the art helps you know the card, you would be wrong, because the Alchemy Tasha is a completely different planeswalker, a completely different card entirely. The +1 for this 4-mana 4 loyalty planeswalker is until your next turn, whenever a creature attacks you or Tasha Unholy Archmage, put a -1/-1 counter on that creature. The -2, target opponent puts a creature card of their choice from their graveyard onto the battlefield under your control. That creature gains Ward 2. And -6, target opponent reveals cards from the top of their library until they reveal 3 creature cards. Put those cards onto the battlefield under your control. That player puts the rest into their graveyard. So, what did we do with Tasha? Well, it's a new Dimir planeswalker. It's a different type of planeswalker. It plays very differently from the Tasha we know in Paper, who I've played on the Worst Possible Commander show and played a lot of Commander with. But that doesn't make it bad. In fact, it is a very powerful planeswalker. The downside of Tasha, though, is that the card itself doesn't have a way to gain card advantage every turn. If you're going to play a control planeswalker in Brawl, you usually need a way to gain card advantage very regularly. Teferi, Hero of Dominaria, is a wonderful example of this. The +1 draws a card. The Ashiok is pretty, it's okay. The +1 makes a creature. That's like card advantage if it's a good body, like a 2/3 often is. And Nicole Bolas, of course, pluses to draw cards as well. So those cards for sure are good planeswalkers for commanders. Tasha, as a control commander without gaining card advantage on every plus, it is a problem. So I wanted to build a deck that could actually close. I tried the kind of all counter spells and removal approach, and what happened inevitably is the opponent's commander would grind out our commander because our commander doesn't have inherent card advantage built into it for sure. The -2 is okay, and you can build around the -2 with cards like Unlicensed Hearse to manage their graveyard so you're getting what you want most of the time, but because it's their choice, the -2 often isn't getting you a very threatening creature. So, what did we do? A Paradox Engine deck. We build exactly what we're going to keep playing in all kinds of shells until they take it away from us. And in this specific deck, Tasha is actually an excellent Paradox Engine commander. Why? The +1 is incredibly good against creature decks. Normally we have to dilute our Paradox Engine deck a little bit to play cards that slow the opponent down so they don't just run us over, or we just straight lose to creature decks, which is often okay because there aren't a ton of creature decks at the tippity top of Brawl. But the further down you go in the tier list, the more you run into creature decks, and we certainly ran into a ton of creature decks playing Tasha Unholy Archmage. They do not know what tier this card currently falls into. So to beat the creature decks, you often need a high amount of sweepers and removal. But with Tasha in your command zone, the +1 is often good enough, deceptively good enough, to keep the opponent at bay and slow those creature decks down. So as a commander, it buys you time to set up your combos. The -2 is also very good because if you just get any good creature hit with one removal spell, you can often get it to your side, which can really help flip the board. Tasha is also excellent against control decks in a combo plan, because if the opponent knows what you're trying to do with Paradox Engine, they'll just sit back with counter spells and various kinds of removal and interfere with your Paradox Engine and just do nothing but stop the engine. That's where Tasha's really good. They have to stop Tasha, because if they're playing a control deck, the -6 actually says they have to reveal 3 creature cards but if they don't have 3 creature cards, it just mills them out. If they're playing like a full pure control deck that just runs like a Brawl and a Torrential Gearhulk, Tasha's -6 mills their entire library. So the control decks have to respect it, and it means they can't just sit back and only worry about the engine. The creature decks have to plow through it, which leaves us plenty of space to execute what we want to execute. If you watched any of my other Paradox Engine combos, you know how this kind of works. But I have my Paradox Engine pile, say that 3 times fast, sitting over here for you. When I run my Paradox Engine combo, I run a ton of mana rocks. You can see all the ramp over here. These go in just about every deck. Any deck can be running all these mana rocks, and it's usually a good idea. So then over here, we've got Buried Ruin and Inventor's Fair in the mana base. This can tutor up Engine. This can get Engine out of the graveyard. We've got Tome of the Infinite, which is the combo with Engine that just lets you go literally infinite and win the game. You've got Trophy Mage, which fetches the Tome. You've got Grim Tutor, which can fetch the Paradox Engine. Whir of Invention, which can fetch the engine at instant speed. Gilded Lotus I don't run in every deck, but it's still a very good ramp card, but I always run it in my engine decks and the engine itself. So it's a very tight little package. Like, it's like 8 cards, and they're pretty good on their own. I like maybe Whir is a bit narrow and expensive, but most of these cards you could run on their own except for the engine, and that's why it fits in any deck that runs blue to have kind of an endless combo kill with Tome of the Infinite. Now I'm going to go over a few new cards that I have here, as well as a few cards I only play with Tasha. The rest of these piles I'll introduce quickly. This is all interaction. Ways to kill the opponent's stuff and stop the opponent's stuff and make them discard their stuff. Then here is all cards. Just ways to get more cards, keep card advantage, stay ahead of your opponent as you go. There's also a cheeky combo in here of Narset and the Wheel, Commit to Memory, that can end games as well. And then this is the ramp pile. All right, new cards I think you should be running. Lantern of Revealing is really good if you're running any kind of a blue deck, because you know how the matchmaker works. You get a control standoff. This is awesome in a control standoff because the 4-mana ability helps you ramp and get more lands ahead of your opponent and just scry through your deck. So Lantern of Revealing is really good, and I would run it in all kinds of decks, basically every deck with blue and maybe some other ones as well. Black Market Connections is a super good black enchantment that gains you a huge advantage on the board. It's not wonderful when you're under pressure, but the norm in Brawl isn't to be attacked, it's to be jockeying for position with your commanders and trying to gain overwhelming amounts of ramp and card advantage. And Black Market Connections absolutely does it all. Every turn, if you're willing to pay 6 life, you can get a treasure, you can draw a card, and you can make a 3/2. That's ramp, cards, and board presence all in one card. And if you don't have the life or don't want to pay the life, pick the one that works most for the situation you're in. I think this probably goes in every black deck in Historic Brawl going forward, and it's definitely worth crafting. Seek New Knowledge is a blue instant that 1 in a blue seeks 2 non-land cards, then puts a card from your hand on the bottom of your library. Just a nice little bit burst of card advantage. Does it go in every blue deck? I'm not sure yet, but the fact that you can use this to basically turn 1 card into 2 non-land cards and then put a land or an irrelevant card on the bottom, I think that this goes in most blue decks going forward. And then the next cards I'm going to show you are the Tasha only cards. These are the cards I'm running specifically because of Tasha the Unholy Archmage. Interplanar Beacon, Interplanar Bacon as we called it back in the day. Just get a little free life along the way. You're going to cast your commander, and if they are trying to kill Tasha, which you'll find people do a lot, then you gain a good amount of little life points along the way. Karn's Bastion, Contentious Plan, the Elder Spell kind of, and Tezzeret's Gambit. These are all proliferation effects, or sort of proliferation effects, that put more counters on Tasha. Tasha ultimates very quickly. She comes out and +1, the next turn plus again, and the next turn can ultimate and potentially mill out an opponent or just steal 3 giant monsters from them, which can often be game-changing itself. If you can do it a turn faster, it makes a huge difference in the game. So we've got multiple proliferate effects for Tasha to go off a turn earlier than expected. The Elder Spell helps with this as well. So those are the cards I'd only run in Tasha. This is the engine package. These are the new cards worth noting. And this is Tasha Control. Today's video is dedicated to patron Matt Elmore. Thank you for signing up at a $4.99 or higher tier to get an in-video shout out. And if you didn't hear your name and you signed up recently, don't worry. I'm doing another shout out at the end of the video. Of course, the patrons stay till the end, but this is an extra reminder to stay till the end. Leave me a comment and like the video if you enjoy it and if you enjoy historic Brawl. Let's dive in. Let the Tasha Unholy Archmage nonsense begin.
What? If you wanna play with the best, get your ass to command fast. Orlando. If you wanna play with the best, get your ass to command fast. Orlando.
Astragoth playing Klothys, the god of destiny. Red-green does a little graveyard hating. Might make things awkward for Tasha. We have a Tail's End to counter it. On the draw, that's about all you can ask for. We don't have black mana, but we can cast our whole hand. Because who needs black cards in your blue-black deck? So we're going to keep it. Maybe Conversion or Narset will help. We'll see. Alright, there's a Grim Tutor. Sound is already scuffed? We just started the game. What the hell? Arena, are you okay? All right. I don't know. What should I do, guys? Should I point out when I notice sound is scuffed, or should I pretend it's fine? I honestly am not sure what to do. I guess I'll just be me. I'll just be CGB. All right. Klothys getting Tails Ended sounds nice, but the opponent's already ahead on board. I think a Narset doesn't really do anything to them. We're not threatening anything, though. There's nothing in the graveyard, though, for Klothys to really take advantage of. The Conversion would change that, but I think we've got to get something cooking here. All right, I'm going to send away the Tutor. We can't really cast it. Search. What? But this, I don't get to search. It's... Oh, I'm searching for the same name. Oh, okay. I haven't used Unexpected Conversion in a minute and not in Historic Brawl. All right. Now we're discarding. Fun. Fun game. Let's drop off Deluge. Opponent will probably exile it with the Klothys. It's a pretty good Planeswalker. Vivian's here. Fortunately, Vivian's Plus doesn't get a Planeswalker, so commit's pretty good. I'll show you what I mean in a second. If the opponent pluses Vivian here, we respond with the commit, and then they put the Vivian like on the bottom of their deck. Like so. Now hopefully they don't punish us too hard by having something else awesome to do. I mean, the Klothys is annoying, and it means our Tail's End is bad, but our Tail's End was already bad. Ooh, they're holding back to level up, to play more lands. Druid's class loves land. Everything about our plays have been awkward at best. We could get the Tasha down, but I have a feeling that the opponent's going to do very powerful things, and we need to start being very reactive. Fortunately, we have some instants now to do that with. You go for the memory. You go to level 3. What's the target? The mountain? They don't have many mountains. That surprised me. All right, this is for the mountain. There was also a mountain in Game of Thrones. You know, like Dracarys or Astragoth. Wait, why did I say Dracarys? Oh, that was the name of the person who scooped on turn 1. They did not get featured in this video. If you want to get featured in this video, don't scoop on turn 1, you cowards. I do hate that I can't draw land with this, but at least we drew some mana rocks. So do I get rid of Tail's End now? Narset also might be a little bad. The commit's gone. Yeah. Sorry, Narset. You're a little slow. Our opponent's in the process of beating us to death. All right, we get our Lantern of Revealing down, which is really good in a standoff, but it's just kind of okay here. I'm going to hold up Soul Shatter. We might get to Soul Shatter something of relevance, but we also might get to Tail's End or Bind to Secrecy. Townraiser Tyrant. Oh, I hate this card so much. I don't even know how to explain. All right. Especially when you're down lands. Oh, it just makes me want to jump in a... Oh, it makes me so mad. All right. We'll Soul Shatter it. Still down lands. I guess we could take... Yeah, if we had drawn a land there, we could Skyclave Relic, kick it, and have mana up for Bind or Tail's End. But we don't, and we can't, and we won't. Bad things are going to happen. Real bad things are going to happen. I guess I'm going to try this. Don't want to pay the life. Draw 2, proliferate nothing. Wow, look, land. Cool. Nothing to do with 3, so we'll play this tapped. And I think we just let this go. Alright, so there's one creature in that graveyard, and it is a Townraiser Tyrant. So I might try to reanimate that with Tasha next turn. I feel like the opponent has more toys and they have to go. Return X cards from your graveyard to hand. Nope! We're not doing that. That's getting countered. Come on, no Veil of Summer, please, one time. Okay. Paradise Druid. Yeah, oh my gosh, the sound on this game. Tell me you're not trying without telling me you're not trying. Artifact in the graveyard? None. So we can tap this and we can tap this. Come on down, Tasha. And I'll have that Townraiser Tyrant now. Should have exiled it. Ward 2. I'm also going to nuke your den. Pretty cool. I hate this card with all my being until it's mine. Alright, little by little, the Klothys has taken us down a peg. We're down to 11. But the opponent's not playing a lot of creatures, and they've got 5 cards in hand, so I don't know what they've got going. Okay, Heaven. Baby, you're all that I want. Den? You want to keep it or lose it? Take 2. Okay, let's go. Search also not very good against a Klothys that's active. We do need to keep from taking damage, though. Our opponent's at 36, so racing them doesn't seem appropriate. Am I supposed to kick this and mana up, or am I supposed to discover a formula? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2. I'm going to discover a formula. Sounds fun. There's a Thirst. We finally get rid of this pesky bugger. And we can hold up a Tail's End, so we could hope our opponent's play is a legendary play. We also found Paradox Engine. That means that we are a tome away from victory. Because we already have the mana to activate the tome over and over. And we have the other mana rock. Down to 9. It's getting scary. Thankfully, the Den lost its abilities. Right? It still loses its abilities to the Town Raiser. Yeah, okay, it does. Opponent Chaos warps and reveals a Primal Command on top. I think they're trying to be some kind of Gruul control deck. That was a pretty bizarre play, but we take those. All right, let's kick it. Now we've got mana. Not enough to play the engine here and untap things. We're 1 mana short of that. But let's get Lantern, or I'm sorry, not Lantern, Search for Azcanta down. And we still have either Tyrant Scorn or Tail's End here. We're going to fall to 7 as it's getting dangerous. It's getting really dangerous. Primal Command. Put target non-creature permanent on top of its owner's library. Search your library for a creature card. Okay, gotta float the blue. You get a Tangled Florahedron to hit a landfall trigger? Okay, they must have something to do with a lot of mana here. Craterhoof? You could have Craterhoof last turn with the castle, right? I don't know. Don't need more of you. Draw Swan Song. All right, Graveyard check. Paradise Druid, Town Raiser, Tyrant. This is tough. Don't really want to play the engine until we're about to go off, because if the opponent blows it up... Well, I guess we have Buried Ruin, but still, if the opponent blows it up, it's a big setback. Alright, let's play you. I guess I'm going to plus. If we hit a Proliferate card, we could possibly ultimate. Alright, we go to 5. It's getting really scary. Cultivate. I'm not going to counter it. The opponent gains life from this, but I'm not afraid. Earth over here just does damage to each creature without flying. It doesn't hurt players, so I don't have to be afraid of that. This Kanta has 5 cards in graveyard. Okay, they go for a Cleansing Wildfire. That'll get to 6. I wonder if we're supposed to counter this? I don't think so. I don't really want them to have a bird. Okay. No artifacts in the grave to get back? Nope. Okay. Well, that's gonna allow Azcanta to flip. And we get to search for a basic. So it's like a land destruction deck, I think. All right, bin that. That is a life gain source. That is a big deal. All right, that doesn't proliferate, but what we can do is this. We can go get rid of the Paradise Druid. That gains 3 life. That's huge, because the clock was getting scary. And then we get back the Town Raiser Tyrant again. And then we'll nuke the Oasis. And we've gone Azcanta online to try to find the combo. Now our Kling gets nuked, which is sad. But it bought us a little bit of time. Ruin Blaster. Crap. I can nuke the ability though, because they want the Azcanta. Let's first see what we see with this Azcanta. Narset the Elder Spell. Time Warp, Thought Erasure. Let's grab the Time Warp. And let's Tails End the Ruin Blaster, because we need something to do with that extra turn. Do you want to keep the Oasis? Opponent takes 2. They're at 46. I think they'll be fine. All right. Search. Key. Key could be interesting. Warp. Target here. 3 mana still to go. Play this tapped, unfortunately. Plus and attack. And go. River's Rebuke. Is that even good? They get to replay Ruin Blaster. They get to reset their Druid class. Don't love it. Okay, let's take another shot first for Tome. No, we can do that with reactive mana. Let's play the key. Demonic Tutor. Yes. You can go. All right. Play the engine. QQ. Tutor. Untap the 3. And that gets us Tome of the Infinite. And that sends us to the victory. Tatsunari, the Toad Rider from Vardamir, who has great taste in avatars. We're on the draw. We've got Tail's End, but if we play Cold Steelheart, we don't get to Tail's End the Toad Rider. We've got Trophy Mage. This is kind of a tough one. I don't think it gets much better on the draw, to be honest. That's the problem. There just isn't that much you can do on the draw. If you're behind and you play your Mana Rock and they play their commander, it's rough. It's hard. I often wonder these days if that means I shouldn't play Tail's End anymore, since unless you're in like a mono counterspell deck, maybe you just can't run it in a deck with Mana Rocks. I don't know. What do you guys think? Yeah, I don't think I can ask for much more from a hand on the draw, so I think I try this hand. It's possible we just don't play our Mana Rock on turn 2, which feels crazy, but you do what you gotta do. Alright. Opponent timed out on their mulligan. Let's find out if they're here. Oh, those sleeves. I feel like it should be animated, though. Ooh, Triome. Okay. I get so jealous of Triomes when I'm running like a 2-color deck. Don't know how to explain that. It's an interesting card to have in there. What does that mean? Alright. I think it's what we talked about. I think we say go. Try to keep Tatsunari off the field. Wow. Alright, that's a really good card for them to resolve. I wish I had taken that with Inquisition. Alright, Starlit Mantle. Hexproof. Ugh. Plaguecrafter we don't care about. This we don't care about. When it enters the battlefield, you may return an enchantment to owner's hand. Yep, let's take the mantle. Play the land, say go. There we go. Set him back a little bit. Mind Stone. Could double ramp. I think we want to get the connection down, to be honest. Which is also like ramping. We have to remember the Plaguecrafter. Plaguecrafter isn't as good if we have things to sacrifice. But it does hit Planeswalkers, right? Yep. Omen of the Sea. Our opponent playing a cool Enchantress deck with Tatsunari, a card that I played a few times in Commander. Alright, all the modes. Don't hold back. Don't limit yourself on the modes, guys. Go hard. Live your dreams. Don't let your dreams be dreams. Just do it. Okay, we've got Mind Stone. Let's play Tasha. Opponent might counter it, but good. We want something other than... You want your commander to eat the counter spell because we can just play it again as long as we're making mana. Okay. Our opponent is going to try to kill us with skeletons. You love to see it. All the modes. What do I care? I'm a maniac. All right, the game is not going to be a long one, so playing Seagate doesn't seem very good. This is pretty good against the skeletons, though. This is really good against the skeletons. Let's start here. Ashiok, gone. Tome, right there. I guess Trophy gets Tome, but then that does mean we can't surveil it. All right, he'll just have to get something else.
Whatever little quest you're on, I am ending it here. Don't come any.
Come at me, skeletons. I mean, they can do that a lot. It's okay, as long as we're making mana, like I said. It's fine.
Dueling used to be fun.
Dead. Alright. Let's just make the mana. It's time to actually care a little bit about life total. Keep it up. How many ways are they going to find to kill Tasha? We have the Inventors Fair, so now we just have to find the time to search for the Paradox Engine. Oh wait, we need the mana too. I guess Cold Steel Heart on blue, right, is the mana. Hook for 2. Sure. Doesn't gain life anymore. That's cool. I guess the loses life part is way more relevant, right? Alright, keep going up, because those skeletons are going to kill us.
Give it your best shot, adventurers.
Alright, we'll go blue. Go tapped. Okay, if we search this turn, next turn we can play Tome, play Engine, win. We're also threatening a Tasha ultimate, but don't know if that's relevant. The opponent's probably going to Plague Craft it, since we don't have another creature in play. Ten mana Tasha, no big deal. They bring back the Chain Web. Sure. Die, skeleton, die. You love to see it. I mean, I guess it still drains me for 1, but I enjoy this nonetheless. All right, Paradox. Treasure, I guess. Land. Okay, that's gonna be annoying. Paradox. Tome. Activate. QQ. I don't think it matters, but whatever. Now we just have to not force spike. Don't force spike. That's a pretty good one too. Destroy target enchantment. I guess we'll take out the hook. Lightning bolt. We'll take out the crafter. I think we might have to give the turn back to them at some point. Therefore, I'm going to try to manage their board. All right, whiff. It's very hard not to hit the undo button and activate the tome with the way things are. Do these solve my problems? I do want the clock, right? That lets me go man at positive. Opponent says good game, and I don't blame them. All right, ponder again. Now we'll shuffle. Oh wait, if I draw into the Grim Tutor, it doesn't matter. Like, I think we're gonna get there. There's no way we don't get there now, even with Force Spike. Trophy Mage also can get another mana rock so that we go super mana positive. But yep, got there. Thank goodness for the combo. I think we were going to get drowned in value eventually by this by Enchantress's presence, but it shows you that having the combo in your deck lets you get to a spot where you just win the game, as opposed to trying to grind through all this and try to reduce their life total. Ziatora, the Incinerator. All right, big dragon coming. Shoot, we don't have blue mana. If we tap an island, we have turn 2 Tasha, but we have ramp into Tasha either way, so that's pretty good. Also, if we make the opponent discard a giant monster, maybe we can reanimate it. Maybe. Very tempting to just Dark Ritual Cold Steel Heart here. That plays into Extract the Truth next turn, into Tasha the next turn. Okay. Weird, but we're doing it. Lethal Dark Ritual. Nice. Ladies and gentlemen, we're battling a Greek god. Vadrik is hard to play against. It's often a Storm combo deck, and I don't have... Well, it's very good at protecting Vadrik, and I don't always have a ton of ways to remove creatures, as I'm kind of executing my own combo, so this should be a tough matchup. I'm going to keep it based on the wash away. All right, is our opponent going to play full control today? Yes, they are. Wow, I thought I was a sweaty Brawl player. Our opponent's literally playing this on full control. It's going around, guys. It's going around, the full control lifestyle. Oh my god, what is wrong with people? Alright, there's a Mox Amber, there's an Invert Invent, which can tutor up spells. There's a Wandering Archaic, a Spell Pierce, and a Pirate's Pillage. Let's take the Pillage. There's... The Spell Pierce is frustrating. It means that the Wash Away won't resolve. Alright, they top a Cold Steel Heart. Since they're under no pressure, they're probably just going to ramp ad nauseum. And we don't want to run out the Narset here. We can pay for the Spell Pierce, potentially. We wash this away, but they're probably going to try to invent, search for an instant or sorcery card, or an instant and or a sorcery card. They can do that at instant speed. Okay, they missed their land. They're not doing that. Let's go. I'm a maniac like that. I'll take 7. I'm an absolute lunatic. So they can Spell Pierce this. We can pay. We get this on the field. I think I'm supposed to go for this, but yeah, we go for it. Okay. They're gonna get their lovely commander next turn, so we have to deal with that. This isn't exactly what I would call the hits. I guess I'll take the plan. It's kind of weak though. The Connections is a very powerful card. I just don't know if I have time to resolve it and have it do work, but I guess it's a little better than plan. Engine, we're nowhere near doing the combo, so we're going to put that on the bottom. Yeah, they're going to play this, probably. They might cast the Archaic. They do have the mana now to invent, though, which might be what they really want to do. Amber. Vadrik. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mana right now for spells. Explore the vast lands. Look at your top 5. Reveal land and or an instant sorcery. And then 3 life. Fun. When do I get to do it? Why is it... How do I get to pick, or... Okay, there we go. Weird. Land, for sure. What about the other stuff? Tail's End doesn't do much here. It might counter the second arrival of the card, but I'm going to take Bind to Secrecy. Good old-fashioned counter magic. Our opponent found a big score. Not very good against a Narset. So I have to kill this. It's a 3-mana card. There are 3 spells in graveyard. 4 mana. The tapped land situation is a bit concerning. So I think I'm actually shocking this out. Oh, man. What to do? What to do? We've got to kill it. The question is how. And then I guess I fight it with a wash away next turn. So maybe I do just go for Thirst. No. No. We go for Drown. So, because with Drown, now we can wash it away, and we can play Black Market Connections this turn. Get that on the board. I will have to discard, so, like, if I take a card with Narset here, I'll just have to discard, and I like my hand. So I'm just going to let Narset be. It also makes Narset a little harder to kill. If the opponent powers up their Hall and attacks Narset, that's okay. They kind of time walk themselves. They go for Smashing. Okay, that's a way to do it. But they don't have mana for anything else. Alright, let's pay some more life. We're already paying a lot of life in this game. Let's do it. Whir. Let's get the Hive down. Interesting game. What do we do now? Is it time for Tasha? Pressure the opponent a little bit. Who knows if they even have any creatures in their deck? They might not. So could just be potentially game over. We could get their Wandering Archaic. Oh, that would have been a sweet play. I forgot it was there. Alright, what's the discard? I don't think the River's Rebuke is going to do anything against them, to be honest. The Elder Spell still might hit a Rahl Zarek. Opponent might be passing. Okay. Cycle. I'm sure we'll hit another land somewhere in the top 3. Now they're going to invent. Go get some instants. Let's see what they get. It's instant and or sorcery, so one of each. It's a pretty cool tutor for the Izzet historic Brawl gamers out there. The invent side just isn't relevant too often. Alright, if I draw a Proliferate effect, I'll go for the Tasha Ultimate. If I don't, I'm going to take this Wandering Archaic, because I think I should have taken it in the first place. Commit Swan Song. Okay, well, those are designed to help things resolve. We're at 11. Let's do no 3-2, but let's get the treasure and the card. Everything helps. So now being able to copy their instance is pretty powerful. It's going to make things really difficult for them. That's why they have Wandering Archaic in their deck, I'm guessing, to fight the mirror type situations. War of Invention. Can go get Tome. That's 6 mana. I think we just discard the land and hold up interaction. So if you've never seen Vadrik before, it can absolutely go off. They find a few ways to make Vadrik's power a little bit higher so their spells are insanely cheap, and then they just cast a whole, like, 1,000,000 spells. It's like a Storm combo deck. You have to play better against it than you think you do. Alright, so we want to tap these for Improvise to cast War of Invention for 3. This will get us Tome. Tome will keep the value coming. We're a long ways away from Paradoxing. We don't have any mana rocks. They're going to Swan Song that. Okay, would they like to pay 2? They are going to pay 2. So I guess we just let this go and get the bird. It's not something I super want to fight over. We'll try to draw 2. Cast big score. That gets copied. Wow. I mean, okay. I'll take that. So, do we fight our opponent's big score? I guess so. And they hate that. They did not like that one bit. I like your Wandering Archaic opponent. Thanks for loaning it to me. So, on the play, we got turn 2 Signet, potentially turn 3 Tasha, so we keep that. Just gotta top the land. Easy money. Nethroi Apex of Death is like a Reanimator combo deck. If they get the right cards in their graveyard, when they mutate the Nethroi, they can create a loop. I'm trying to remember exactly how it goes, and I can't. So you're just gonna have to trust me. It could be bad. You're just gonna have to believe me. We're just gonna try not to let the mutation ever occur. Oh. Alright. Tapped land. Tasha next turn. We can hold up the Indulgence or we can run out the Tome. Let's hold up the Indulgence. Rex Sage is kind of automatic in the green decks. Light Priest, okay. Whenever you gain a life, I lose a life. That could be a problem. Allow me to indulge myself. Time Warp, commit. Drop off the Cling into the graveyard. It can be escaped later if we decide that's important. Drop the Fair. So we could drop the Tasha. At this point, we're getting really close to Paradox Engineing. They don't have enough to mutate next turn. I think the right play, honestly, is to get Tasha going, but honestly, ramping is really good too, and we can defend Tasha better. All right, let's ramp. I talked myself into ramp. Okay, they're a drain and gain Nethroi deck. Interesting. I lose a life. I lose a life. Okay. This is getting old. Go big or go home. So we've got a ton of mana. We've got the Inventor's Fair. Woof. We just need the engine. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Sack this, and we still have 5 mana left to cast the engine, but it's not enough to start going off. So let's kick this. Cool Tasha deck. You didn't even need it, bro. It's not over yet. It's not over yet. I want to all hit the battlefield at once. So let's put Tasha out there to divert attention. Maybe keep the opponent from attacking. Maybe they use a removal spell on it. Aerialist. Behold, life gain triggers. You want some -1/-1 counters, opponent? Have one. Nice. Oh my god, the life gains. All right. All right, search it up. Easy money. And show him the tome. And we start bolting them down. And that's game. All right, that was bizarrely easy, but that is kind of the free win equity that having the Paradox combo in your deck gives you. The ramp cards are never bad. The tome is never bad. Sometimes you just win. Tergrid. All right, nastiness. It's nasty versus nasty. Yeah, I'll keep it all about the search for his Kanta. Never mind, all about the turn 2 Tasha. Just draw your Dark Ritual off the top, guys. Magic is easy.
Fight fair. Absolutely not.
I gotta work on my witch cackle. It's a little better some days. It's better in the afternoon after my voice is warmed up. All right, opponent passes. How many creatures do you think they have in their Tergrid deck? I'm predicting some big scary monsters. Opponent's got something. What you gonna do, opponent? You gonna rope me out? The default. Alright, I like getting his Kanta down here and getting it going. We could have also tutored there, possibly for a proliferate card. Don't say good game. Don't say good game. Let me mill ya. Let me mill ya. I want to see it. Let me see it. Drill bit. Okay, tutor gone. We'll keep the arena. That's busted. Alright, what do you got? What's in there?
Cherish this rare moment.
What's in there? Okay, this is okay. Target creature. Can I submit 0? When it enters the battlefield, you may. All right, I'm going to choose not to. I get to discard something. I get to? My opponent gets to. Ooh, they give up Feed the Swarm? I have his Kanta, though. They must have a good hand. Decline. All right. Play this beautiful card that the opponent's mono black deck probably can't deal with. Come at me, Tergrid. Divert. No, come on. That ain't it. Dark Ritual. Maul the Gear Hulk. Okay, take some pressure off. I see you. Okay, bye. I don't blame him. Sometimes these Brawl games are a little lopsided. Is that a good way to put it? Teferi. Oh, God. Okay. Oh, we got the Dark... Wait, I'm the one who's supposed to scoop on turn 1 to Teferi. Didn't you watch the LVD video? Come on. Ben's Gabriel. Prosper. Get a Prosper fight. This hand doesn't work. What's with the colorless lands coming and showing up together? All right, Brainstorm. No way to perfect Brainstorm. This is not a great hand. It's very slow. The Brainstorm has to fix it. I'm pretty nervous. All right, we can Brainstorm next turn, I guess. Although I'll feel really bad if I hit a Mana Rock. Eliminate. Don't know if Eliminate's going to be good. Eliminate's good. Who was I to question the greatness of Eliminate? Get Florian off that board. Honored Heirloom, good timing. Needed a rock right there. I want a rock right now. Let's see if they just run out their Prosper. It's a pretty good card. Shuffle effect? 0. There aren't a ton in the deck, so you have to get used to that. All right, Prosper in the house. Prosper exiles castle. I think we just have to kill it. The value engine's pretty intense. As much as I would love to get the Gilded Lotus down here, I think we just have to kill it. The deck doesn't usually work if Prosper is not around, so putting that off as much as we can is a good move. They're just a pile of Rakdos removal and value. But with Prosper around, they get mana, and then they get to just keep going and going. Oh, we getting robbed? Oh, they have more cards in hand than me, so they don't get the Gear Hulk. 27. Lotus. Otawara. Tasha. There is a Florian. Let's grab it.
Best mage win. It is me. I'm the best mage. Oh, I'll be taking that.
Nice. Warded Florian. Come at me, robber. They might kill Tasha here, but we've got the mana to cast her a few times thanks to Gilded Lotus. As long as they don't abrade the Lotus, we're good.
New rivalry.
The Ward 2 is so good on these cards. It means they have to spend like their whole turn killing it. Strangle's one of the good ways. They might be able to do something else with their mana now. Crossroads, and looks like they're going to scry. If they play one more card, they get to rob me. They don't. Bind Secrecy, huh? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, leave up 3. So it's... We could flash in the Gear Hulk, which can also eliminate or brainstorm, which is pretty good. But it doesn't stop the Prosper. The Jwari might. I think if we're committed to the Gear Hulk line, we just say go. Gear Hulk's pretty good. And the opponent's got something. Do they have an untapped land to get this Prosper around Jwari? Oh, they go for Marionette Master. No. No. you cannot has that. All right, Hulk'em. Get the Brainstorm. I was going to eliminate, but now that we get this block, we don't need it. Oh, we can do Trophy Mage. Okay. So we put Trophy Mage on top and it can shuffle that away. Kill it. Now we are firmly ahead. Tome? It's funny, Prosper is tome bound, but I'm the one with the tome. Phyrexian Arena. Gotta fight the card advantage, right? I guess we tome first, because we might hit Light of Hope. Ponder. Alright, they kill a Gear Hulk. We can Buried Ruin, get it back. Arcane Signet. Start with Tome. Figure out what our options are. Giant Growth. Hype. 8 mana. Ponder. I think we'll shuffle that. Cling. Pretty good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 2 can use Buried Ruin, 3 can do something else, or we can play Tasha. Some good cards down there, but Tasha plussing seems really good. I don't feel like I need to counter Tomebound. I can just kill it with Drown later. So let's be assertive.
Beware. I know some sickening magic.
Rude. Opponents all kinds of prepared for Planeswalkers. I think we just try again. Especially since we have the Proliferator. But with the opponents, like, 2 cards in hand, they might have a lot of ways to deal. Still, it doesn't go very wrong.
Don't come any closer.
Okay, Den of the Bugbear hits the field. I could get the Marionette Master. Certainly thinking about it. Alright, opponent powers up Hive. It's in my graveyard I'd miss. Nothing, well, I guess the Gear Hulk. Yeah, let's just kill it now. Good game. Yes. We won the battle of new commander versus new commander. And we are back for the post-game wraps. And the stats that I've had for this particular run on this build of the deck, I went 11-3, which is a pretty good run. Now, of course, Historic Brawl has a lot of variety in whether you go first or not and what your matchups are and just all kinds of stuff like that. But for the most part, I'm winning a lot more than I'm losing with Tasha Unholy Archmage, and I'm not in Hell Q, although I've played against a few Hell Q commanders. I played against one Winota deck that absolutely trounced me, so I'm not sure where Tasha falls into the overall, what would you say? The overall tier list. Where does Tasha live? I'm not sure, but this is the best version I've played. I've tried a variety of other versions, including all in on control, and I've tried a version that is all in on like milling the opponent or making them discard a large monster and then reanimating on turn 4 with Ward 2. Those decks didn't do nearly as good as just good old standby, play it till it's banned, Paradox Engine combo, which continues to get us out of situations where we'd otherwise be ground out by the advantage that our opponent's decks can create, especially through either Planeswalkers or enchantments that generate advantage, or through commanders that generate a lot of card advantage. So until things change and they ban the engine, I think you have to continue to run a little bit of a combo deck so you can close the game. Relying on some big, hard to deal with creature like a Hullbreaker Horror, I just don't think that's going to do the job. So this is the version of Tasha that I prescribe. I really loved Lantern of Revealing, although it didn't show up in the games I played today. It definitely showed up in the games I played while testing it in other matchups as a bit of a breaker, kind of like a mirror breaker, sort of, if you're in control versus control, on the level of Celestis, where you just get to go through your deck, you get to ramp ahead of your opponents, and it's so good. Black Market Connections impressed and impressed again and impressed again. This card is amazing and well worth the craft. Seek New Knowledge never held me back. It was perfectly fine. I enjoyed it quite a bit, and I would craft it as just an uncommon. It's a good addition to your deck. So that's where we stand on Tasha. I would like to thank you guys for watching to the end, and thank you as always for supporting me when I play new formats. Remember to leave a comment if you support the Historic Brawl and you want to see more of it. I enjoy it a lot, but I also understand a lot of you are here for Standard, and I want to continue to give you what you're looking for. The outro part of the video here is dedicated to Jarrett Franklin, who has joined the Patreon $9.99 tier, which means if you're a US resident, you're going to be receiving some signed Covert Go Blue Shark and Wolf tokens in the mail within the next month. We ship them at the beginning of each month, so you'll see them in the upcoming weeks. Thank you very much for supporting the channel. And to all of you who stayed till the end, let me know what you think of the music. Should we add our own epic music if the sound in Arena is going to just keep glitching out? It does sound a little bit more epic, doesn't it? You feel it. You feel it in your heart. Also, I noticed watching back, I damaged this little guy in the intro. I'm sorry. You forgive me? Can we be friends? You're cool.